welcome to your August prediction. This is my birthday month, so I'm really excited. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna do all uprights today. So group one, a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Group one, August 2023 prediction. And we're starting off already with 3 cards. I think I'm gonna take 6 cards. That's what I'm feeling today. We've got the Fool, the 8 of Swords, and the 9 of Wands. You know what? Right off the bat, this is making me think that sometimes, yep, 7 of Pentacles. Sometimes in life, even when 2 of Wands, even when things are looking up or starting to go our way, or we have some new beginnings, some new changes, some new opportunities in our life, sometimes it's difficult to see, I guess, like the forest. Yep, the moon. I was gonna say sometimes it's hard to see the forest for the trees. Sometimes it's hard to see the bigger picture, and even your bottom of the deck here is the World. So I feel like August is either preparing you or is sort of throwing you into the middle of a lot of new opportunities and new beginnings, but it's kind of hard to, I think, for some of you to focus on the positive, because there's this element of uncertainty that comes with change, even when it's positive. And sometimes we get kind of scared or worried, or it could be that you have sort of like this large influx of new opportunities. Like there are choices that have to be made in the month of August, and that may again like increase that uncertainty. So you know, it doesn't matter if it's a change in your career or a change in your love life or a change in your personal life. It can just be a little bit nerve-wracking. I think that leap of faith, that again with the moon and the Fool here, that element of uncertainty. You know, because I think in life a lot of times we want to guarantee, we want to know like, okay, if I seize this opportunity, if I say yes to this thing, is it going to work out? You know, again, whether it's a new job or a new love or a new level of commitment in something, it's like, should I go for it? Should I say yes to this thing? And of course it's going to vary for all of you what this thing is, but with the 7 of Pentacles here, I mean, for a lot of you, it's something that maybe you've been hoping or wishing for a long time, or even something that you've been working towards. And it may sort of be, you know, sometimes like we can kind of almost be the cause of our own misery, you know, like even when things are going really well, sometimes anxiety can still get the best of us. And again, I think it's that need for control, that need to know the outcome. And I get it, like you're watching a tarot reading and like that's kind of the idea, right? Like we're trying to figure out like what's going on for you in August, what do you need to know? And sometimes Spirit is like, you know what? We just want you to enjoy the journey. We just want you to be present. We don't want you to worry so much about every little thing that's going to come to pass in August. We want you to trust that we are bringing the right people and the right opportunities towards you, and it's all okay. You don't need to see the bigger picture, which is this World card. Like you don't need to see the final outcome. You don't need to know every little thing that's going to come to pass. You know, we want to surprise you. We want life to give you some things that are unexpected, because A, that's how we grow. That's how we learn to adapt. That's how we learn to be flexible. That's how we learn to let go of that illusion of control. But also that's part of the fun. And I know that's like a difficult pill to swallow if you're more of a type A person, or if you just tend to have anxiety. That's difficult, right? That's a difficult aspect of life to expect that, or I guess to accept that life is unexpected. And you know, I think Spirit is saying just because something is unexpected, or just because there may be a plot twist for you, or there may be a curveball in the month of August, or there may be, again, like an opportunity that comes your way, a chance at something, and you have to just say, I'm going to say yes to this without necessarily knowing the final outcome. And that's how everything in life is, right? Like if you're if you're offered a job somewhere, right? You're offered a new position and you decide to leave your current workplace, you can know, like, okay, I'm gonna make this salary, or these are gonna be my hours, but you can't exactly predict how happy you're gonna be in that role, right? You can't exactly predict what your coworkers are gonna be like, or if there's a change in management 6 months from now. There's no way of knowing that, right? Or if the company gets bought out by a larger corporation, that can bring new policy changes, right? Like a myriad of things can happen, right? But I feel like Spirit is saying, like, we want you to trust in your own decisions more. And we want you to feel more comfortable just going with the flow of life and not putting your teeth into it, not having such a tight grip on things where you feel like, I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know what's going to happen. Spirit is saying, like, that's going to make you tense. It's going to, continue to fuel this nervousness, this anxiety, this need for control. Like, we want you to just love and let go, live life, be in the flow. And I think trust that you are sort of being divinely guided in all of this, right? This is your path. So I feel like if you're worried about making the wrong choice in August, let that fear go. If you're agonizing over a decision that you've already made, let that go. If you are sort of at a standstill, afraid to move forward, let go of that fear as best as you can. Obviously, like, all of this is easier said than done, right? I feel like we've already talked about sort of your vibe in August, but let's just get some more details. Like, what's your attitude in the month of August? How are you showing up in your own life in the month of August? Group 1. I feel like that was just my hand. Sorry, guys. We're going to get 2 cards here. She who instigates leadership, provocation and power. And we have Regina there. Let's get one more card. She who surprises. Oh, I love this. Surprise, discovery, and revelation. So this is nice to see, right? Because as August sort of unfolds before you, you are gonna find the courage. You are going to be more brave in your own life. You are going to say, you know what? It's time to step out of this 8 of Swords, right? This box. It's time to step out of my comfort zone. It's time to shake things up. If there's something that you've been unhappy with for some time, don't be afraid to take steps to resolve that, right? Like, you're not stuck. And I know sometimes in life, people will encourage us to stay where we are because that's what is interpreted as safe, right? So, if you've been unhappy at your job for some time, some people around you may be saying, well, at least it's a paycheck, or you have job security, or, like, you should stay in it because you put in so much time, right? Like, you hear that a lot with people in the military, like, just stay in there until you can retire, something like that. But, and it may be the same thing too if this is about your love life. You may just be staying in something because it's what you know. But I think you are being encouraged in the month of August to almost like surprise yourself and take action and step up and do something. If you're unhappy, do something. Take those initial steps. And, again, I think you're being presented with some opportunities in the month of August that are meant for you, and you're being encouraged to go after it. I'm hearing like it's time to take responsibility for your own happiness, And I feel like Spirit is supporting you in that. They're not letting you, they're not just letting you free fall here, right? Like, things are being lined up to help boost you up. You know what they're showing me right now? You know how performers will take like a stage dive and like the crowd, their fans will like carry them over? That's what they're showing me. Like, you're gonna have many hands supporting you. So I think this is a situation where like the right people are coming into your life at the right time. The right opportunities are presenting themselves at the right time. That kind of thing. Like, you are being supported. You are seeing the signs that you're meant to see. Let's see, August 2023 for my group 1s. Perfect. Oh, I love this for you. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. And we have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. And it's really beautiful to see a full moon and a new moon. So it's like Florence and the Machine, like the dog days are over. So I think this Pisces energy may be hinting at maybe a little bit of indecisiveness for you in the month of August, but I think ultimately you're being encouraged to go with the flow, follow your intuition, trust your gut, trust yourself more. And you know what? Sometimes there isn't a wrong and a right choice. There's just different paths. And it's about your free will too. Like, what do you want to do? What are your values? What are your values? How do you want your life to reflect what you value? So do you value connection? Do you value security? Do you value freedom? You can actually, this is like a kind of a common exercise that they do in psychotherapy. You can look up like a values list and just sort of, if you want to, you can cut them out and sort of rearrange them, or you can highlight the page, but just look at a list of values and see like maybe the top 3 or the top 5 that really stick out to you. And then sort of look at your life and say, how is my life currently reflecting these values and how is it not? Because everyone's definition of happiness and contentment is different, right? So what's going to bring you peace in your life? What's going to bring you that sense of contentment? Because I feel like that's what's lacking here for you. And I feel like, you know, if you've been challenged a lot in your life, you can kind of start to expect that, or just get used to that, or just think that that's what life is. But not every cycle, not every year of your life is meant to be hard or meant to be a lesson, you know? And I feel like for some of you, it's kind of hard to trust that. It's kind of hard to trust that you are entering into a more gentle, easier, almost like Spirit is giving you some breathing space with this meditate and contemplate card. And take that as a blessing. And don't view that as stagnancy, okay? All right. How are you going to feel in August? How are you going to feel? We have that feeling when they remember your favorite flower. You know, if you've been feeling sort of passed over in life, if you've been feeling like everything's happening for everyone else and you're just stuck, this to me is saying like that's over. Like the sun is coming back in. You are important. You have a purpose in this lifetime. You matter. You're not a burden. You add value yourself to the world. So I think that's an important reminder for you here too. And I think also, you know, for some of you, this could be hinting at some improvements in your love life as well, whether you're single or in a relationship. Or even just in your friendships too, or with your family. It's just like this feeling of people appreciating you, recognizing you, supporting you. Like, I feel like there's just a lot of love surrounding you, not just divine love, but love in your personal life as well with your close connections. There's a lot of love in your life in the month of August. And maybe you've been feeling a lack of that, you know? So that'll be a nice change for many of you. Let's see, what else? We have that feeling when a book transports you. This is me like all the time. All the time. Yeah, there's this feeling of having, again, that space to just daydream, that space to reimagine, that space to feel free enough to yearn for more. Stop thinking so small. Yeah, I feel like things are being a bit rearranged, and yeah, that can feel a little bit destabilizing as you're going through it, but I think what is on the other side of that is something even better than what you previously could have imagined for your life. It does feel like a glow up in a lot of ways. It's like if you've been, with the Seven of Pentacles here, like if you've been like sort of percolating beneath the soil, it's like, okay, in August, we're breaking soil, we're blooming, we're growing, we're coming out of our shell a bit. But there's also this beautiful balance of retreating when you need to. and taking that space for yourself and really spending time and sitting with yourself and saying, what is going to make me happy here? What is going to bring me a sense of contentment with my life? And you know, it's not like that toxic positivity, like you're meant to be happy every single day. Like that's an unrealistic expectation. But how can you feel good about where you're at and not feel stuck and not feel sort of beaten down? Okay. And then we have, oh, I like that these two came out together. We have that feeling when lying in bed awake each night is the nightmare. And that feeling when your grandparent invites you into a sacred ritual, learning a family recipe. I love these two coming out together because this, to me, that feeling when lying in bed awake each night is the nightmare, it's your own mind. It's that Nine of Swords kind of energy, right? Like, we are creating our own unhappiness because of this need for control, or these anxious thoughts, or these intrusive thoughts that just keep creating this almost like compulsive need, right? To know that it's almost like some of you are craving just the divine to tell you you're making the right choice, it's all okay. Like you just want this reassurance that it's all gonna be okay. And like my heart goes out to you for that, because it's a really difficult space to be in, right? It's really hard. But I think ultimately it's like this card here, this family recipe, it's like Spirit is giving you the secret sauce here. They're telling you this is the missing ingredient here. This is where your approach to life is causing this discontent. It's that need for control, that need to know the final outcome, that need to know, or like almost like this this need for approval, or this need for constant reassurance. And it's Spirit is saying, like, we want you to trust yourself more. We want you to trust your intuition. We want you to go with your gut. We want you to have fun. We want you to let loose. We want you to remember that life is more than hard work. There's value, right? There's value in that. But there's also value in rest. And there's also value in fun. And I feel like Spirit just wants you to remember the good stuff again. I think honestly for some of you, if you can make just a little bit of time, I know life is busy and hectic, but if you can just make a little bit of time in the month of August, just to rest, just to do something fun, just to do something that maybe you haven't done since childhood, something that you really enjoy, where there is no, you know, like I love doing these tarot readings, right? But it is still, at the end of the day, work, right? Like, you know, there still is an element there of pressure, like how is the video going to be received? You know, am I going to be happy myself with how I've delivered the messages? Am I going to be happy with the video quality? Is the video going to do well? Like, there is still an element there, I don't want to say of anxiety, because I don't feel that way when I upload, but there's an element there, I guess, of pressure, right? Do something just completely for fun, not because it's a side hustle that brings you money, or because you feel like you ought to be doing it. Like, you know, like sometimes we feel that way with exercise, right? Like we ought to be doing it. Do something just for the pure joy of it. Do something that makes you feel a little bit wild, a little bit silly. Do something that makes you giggle, makes you laugh, makes you feel, I feel like there's a sense of like elusiveness, right? Like do something that evokes a feeling in you that you haven't felt in a long time, because I feel like for a lot of you, you need to feel more free. Liberate yourself, okay? Because it does feel like for some of you, sometimes your mind isn't a safe space for you. And, you know, like if you're someone who struggles with any sort of mental health issue or just anxious thoughts, nervousness, control, those things we've been talking about, that I think this is definitely your group, and I think that this is definitely something that you're going to find beneficial in the month of August, okay? And do what feels right to you, you know? Don't take any of this as like a mandate. You know, I always say that it's just guidance. It's not like you need to do this kind of thing. Okay, let's just get some final messages. Group 1, August 2023. We've got Solitary Serena, and we'll get one more. Creative Charlie. I love this for you guys, I really do. And I feel like, again, it's that beautiful balance between taking that time for yourself, getting to know yourself again, understanding your values, what we've been discussing, and then also this Creative Charlie, like this Leo fun energy, like lighten up, have some fun, dream a little bit bigger, imagine a little bit more, right? Don't limit yourself. Have more fun. And I think also if you can try to balance sort of like the introversion and the extroversion, like if you can balance your alone time with the people that you love, I think that's going to be a really good space for you to be in August, because I think you need to get more in alignment with what is going to bring you that happiness and contentment, and less of what you think you should be doing or what other people think is practical. But I also think you need to make space just to enjoy life and not be quite so focused on like what your next steps are, okay? But again, don't be afraid to say yes in the month of August. I feel like it's meant to be your month for saying yes. So if there's new opportunities, new people coming in, try to be a little bit open-hearted, because I think it's going to pay off in a really big way for you. So group 1, this was your reading. Thank you so much for letting me do this for you, and I will see you in my next one. Please take care. Welcome to your August 2023 predictions. So we're going to do all uprights today. I think we're going to take 6 cards because that's what I did with group 1. And it was a nice, ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we're starting off your reading very strong. Let's see what else we get. We have the 6 of Cups. Ooh, the Queen of Cups. You have a very beautiful month so far. Let's see. We have the Devil, we have the Ace of Cups. And we have the Magician. And your bottom of the deck here is the 4 of Swords. Okay, I do want to clarify this Devil card. Let's just see what this is about. Okay, we have the 7 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. Okay. All right, don't fret about that Devil card, okay? All right, let's put this over here and let's see. Okay, so there's a lot going on. For sure in the month of August. It's a pretty busy month for you. I think that a lot of things that you have been wishing and hoping for, things that are close to your heart, especially given that we have the Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Queen of Cups, things that are close to your heart are now materializing with this Ace of Pentacles, okay? And I think that sometimes when that happens, we have a lot of good stuff coming in. Group 1 had a similar thing, like new opportunities, new people, new, like, I guess, decisions to be made. It can spark some anxiety for you. Well, it's not like that. It's just more of, how do I rearrange my life to make space for all of these things? And, you know, with the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Cups, it's like, there's a lot of good things happening, there are, but I've got to navigate how to sort of rearrange my day-to-day life. I've got to figure out how I'm going to fit all of this in. So it's like, almost like if your plate's been empty for a while, let's just say like your life is like a plate. And your plate's been empty for a while, and then all of a sudden someone comes by and just gives you an entire feast, and you're trying to figure out, how do I fit all of this yummy food on this one little plate? How do I do that? How am I going to eat all of this? How am I going to... So it just becomes like, oh my gosh. And so it's like just sort of rearranging like your day-to-day schedule. You know, and I can kind of relate to that myself. Like, I've been kind of going back and forth a lot lately, like, how do I navigate these new things in my life with what I've already got going on that's also good? Like, how do I do that? And so you guys have noticed, like, I've been quiet on the channel for a minute, and my goal is to hopefully be able to upload one talking video, one silent reading per week. That's my goal now. But I've been trying to figure out a new romantic relationship. I've been offered like 2 new job opportunities. I'm going to be moving again. Like, it's just a lot going on, and all of it's good, but it's like, how do I rearrange? How do I make all this fit? And I think for some of you in the month of August, you're going to have this feeling of like, I need an avatar. Like, I need more of me. I need duplicates of me. And again, it's like, it's almost like too much of a good thing. And I don't want you to take that in like a negative way, but I think that when you have a really, really positive spread, like, this is such a positive spread. Like, I don't want to downplay that like whatsoever, but I think that if I told you everything was going to be happy-go-lucky, wonderful, sunshine and rainbows in the month of August, you'd be like, well, that's not life. You probably wouldn't be as receptive to the message. And yeah, like, there's a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of, like, again, like, wishes, dreams, desires close to your heart, manifesting and materializing and becoming real and tangible in your life. But at the same time, it's like, all of this requires like time and effort on my part to continue to grow them, right? So like, if you have a new relationship, yay, I met the love of my life, but you gotta nurture that connection, right? You can't just put it on ice and put it to the side, right? Like, you gotta talk to that person, you gotta grow with that person, you gotta get to know them, you gotta build that solid foundation together, right? You gotta navigate what their long-term goals are, what your long-term goals are, and create a life together, you know, create a relationship together. And so it's kind of like that, right? Or if you get this really great job opportunity, awesome, but now you gotta maybe get up and go to bed at a different time. You have a different commute, you got a new job you gotta learn, you got new coworkers, you know, like, it's a learning process, and it takes maybe a little bit more effort than doing what you've been doing, right? And so I'm just giving kind of like some generic examples here, but I hope it makes sense, right? Like, you're just in the month of August kind of reorganizing your schedule, trying to make space for these new things that have entered into your life, trying to decide how to prioritize your time, and trying to navigate making space for these good things. And for some of you, you know, like maybe you've always wanted a cat. You like, you know, and you finally take that leap and you adopt a cat, or usually cats find you, right? Like some stray. And now it's like, I've got to make space for this, right? Like I've got to learn how to take care of it. I've got to maybe be home a bit more. I've got to, you know, because you get what you put into it, right? Just like any relationship. So what you put into your pet, you get back. So if you don't train your dog, you're going to have a dog that probably misbehaves. So it could be something as small as that. But I think for a lot of you, it's more than one thing that's coming in August, because it feels like to me like you're having to restructure quite a bit. Especially because you have two aces, so at least two blessings. And then even when I clarified the devil, you got the Nine of Cups, which is a wish come true. And the Magician, manifestation. Six of Cups can talk about something that we wanted since childhood. And then the Queen of Cups, like I said, something that's really close to your heart. And for some of you, you know, this Queen of Cups could be a love interest, or this could be representing you. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, that could be their Venus sign, Sun, Moon, maybe even their Mars. But I would think with the Queen, it would be their Venus sign more than their Mars. But that could also be representing you getting, like I said, a heartfelt wish coming true, at least one of them, in the month of August. Because if I had a wish come true, or something close to my heart manifest into my reality, or a blessing, if you resonate more with that language, I would be in my Queen of Cups energy, right? Even though I'm not a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces sun sign, okay? All right, let's see. What is your energy in the month of August? What is your energy? We'll get two cards here. Oh wow, two flew out, awesome. We have She Who Is Present, Now Awareness and Acceptance, and we have She Who Grants Wishes. I mean, guys, like really, She Who Grants Wishes, desire, and hope. You know, it's really cute because it's like you are making this wish for yourself come true with the Magician. You know, it's like this is coming to pass because you're in the space to receive it. Spirit is like, you know what? They're ready for this. It's time. It's time. And so you're receiving this blessing. And we all know, like, if you are trying to be in a receptive energy, it's really important to be present. And so the fact that we got this card makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I love that for you, because I feel like most of us are happiest or the most joyful when we're present. And so I feel like, honestly, you're in a better space than Group 1 was. Group 2, because you're present, you know, like you're not in your head a lot in the month of August. You are loving your life, and you're very much, again, focused on the practicalities of like, how do I make space? How do I make space? But again, like we're getting that confirmation that at least one wish is materializing into your life. You know, it's becoming real, it's becoming tangible. It's not just, you know, a hope that you're carrying around in your heart or a wish in your mind. It's something real. Okay. Let's just get some general messages for August now. Group 2, August 2023. Again, we're just going to get two cards here. We have Look at the Bigger Picture, Full Moon in Sagittarius. You know, Sagittarius energy brings a lot of luck, and I think you're going to feel very lucky in the month of August. A new start is coming, new moon. Yeah, I mean, at least one new thing is starting in your life. Like I said, you have two aces, so could be, you know, with that Ace of Pentacles, it could be referring to your financial situation, where you live, anything related to your material world. Could be, you know, your job. Ace of Cups could be something, again, close to your heart. Could be new love, new relationship. Even a spiritual awakening for some of you. And with the full moon in Sagittarius too, I think for some of you, For some of you, this could be indicating an opportunity to travel more or just to get out of your house more and do more things. And that makes a lot of sense if you were resonating with the love aspect of this, like if there was a new love interest coming in or you just started a new relationship. You know, typically when people are dating, they go out more. So that could be confirmation for some of you there. There's a real energy, I feel like, in August for things to just be fresh, for things to be light, for things to be a bit more playful for you. So it's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make space for all of this good stuff. I'm trying to figure out a new schedule for myself. But it's like, if that's my biggest problem, I'm good. You know, it's like, if that's my biggest complaint, that I have too many good things going on, I'll take it. You know, like, it's great. That feeling when you're 33 and a 26-year-old laments their age. You know, I feel like, again, there's like this return to like feeling like a kid again. And realizing you have so much more life ahead of you than you realized with that Six of Cups. You know, that feeling of like, you know what? I'm not too old. I'm not behind. I am right on schedule. And that's that feeling of being present that we were talking about. And even maybe this understanding that growing old is a privilege. You know, not everyone gets to see another year kind of thing. As like morbid as that sounds, I mean, it's true. We have that feeling when you reclaim your power. Yeah, I mean, you're feeling really, really good. And that makes a lot of sense. Like if you were trying to manifest something, or you've been praying on something or hoping for something for a while, and then not only does that come true, but just things are looking up in general in your life, I mean, you would feel really, really empowered. So that makes a lot of sense, you know, that's your energy in the month of August, just feeling more, I feel like, in the driver's seat of your own life, feeling like you have more choices than you realized. Yeah, I mean, you're just in a good space. You're in a good space. I think time management is the only, or even just like prioritizing certain things, is the only tricky thing I'm seeing in August for you so far. Let's just get your final messages now. See if the cat guardians have anything to say. That was too many cards. I just want two, Spirit. We have energetic Ella. Let's get one more. I like to see that. So like, yeah, there's a lot going on and a lot demanding your attention, but you're not feeling depleted. It's like, you know how like you can have like a really long day, but everything you did was really fun, and like, yes, you're tired and exhausted, but you still kind of feel giddy from the day. Like it was just a good day. That's how it is like your entire month of August. Like for me, like I really love roller coasters. And so if I went to a theme park all day, I would be exhausted at the end of the day. You know, being out in the hot sun all day, standing in line, but I would have done a lot of fun things. And so as tired as I would be at the end of the day, I would still feel like this giddiness, this excitement, because just roller coasters are something I've loved ever since I was little. So it's that kind of feeling. I hope that makes sense, but like that's your feeling in August. Like I'm tired, but also weirdly, like I can't sleep. Like I'm too wound up. Oh, and we have spiritual Sally. Yeah, like I said, like some of you may be having a spiritual awakening. And I feel like, you know what? Like if you've been praying or wishing or hoping for something for a while, and you feel like the universe is finally smiling on you and like blessing you, of course that would strengthen your faith. Of course that would strengthen your connection to spirit, because you feel heard. You feel heard. And I think that that attitude is really present in August for you. This feeling of being heard, this feeling of being seen, this feeling of the universe isn't overlooking me anymore. And I love that for you. I love that for you, group 2. All right, so these were your messages. This was your reading. I love this for you. Like I said, I think time management is the one big thing for you in August, and everything else is like going great. You know, it's just like if your biggest problem is too many good things, that's a great problem to have. So group 2, this was your reading. I'm wishing you the very, very best, and I will see you in my next one. Welcome to your August 2023 prediction. So we're going to get 6 tarot cards to start us off, and we're going to do all uprights today. A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Group 3, and I'm sorry, that noise was like really terrible. Okay. Group 3, and we are starting off with the Strength card. Love that for you. Got some Leo energy in August. How perfect. August 2023, Group 3. We have the Hanged Man. Let's see. Wow, that's a lot of major arcana. We have the Hermit card. We have the 5 of Swords. So August is a pretty big month for you if things have been slow. We've got the 4 of Cups, and we'll get one more. 2 more, I lied. We have the Empress and the Page, or I'm sorry, the Knight of Wands, not the Page. And then your bottom of the deck is the 5 of Pentacles here. Okay. Okay. I feel like, and the reason why I said, you know, this feels like a big month for you is, yes, like we have 4 major arcana cards. We have a Court card and then 2 minor arcana. So that's a lot of major arcana cards to get. And that typically represents, you know, larger events in our life. But now that I'm looking at your spread here, I feel like this is more of a major internal transformation. You are changing your perspective on how you sort of view yourself in comparison to other people. With the 4 of Cups next to the 5 of Swords, I feel like before you may have just judged yourself a bit harshly, or just felt like you were not where you should be compared to other people, or just maybe zeroed in on your self-perceived flaws, or, you know, just maybe just focused a little bit too much on things that you could improve, you know? And it's not bad to want to grow, to progress, to develop. That's great. Self-development is wonderful. But it feels like for some of you, sometimes it tips over into just harsh self-criticism, and you can become blind, I think, or, you know, just minimize your positive qualities. And so August is a month of self-empowerment for you, but it's also a celebration of yourself, a changing in perspective. You're not overlooking what makes you beautiful, what makes you intelligent, what makes you funny, what makes you a valuable person. So I think August is definitely a month for self-worth, for freeing yourself from that inner critic that I think has become too prevalent in your life, that's been holding you back a bit. You know, they always say like comparison is the thief of joy, and I think that's been the case for you, and it's so easy for that to sneak up on us. But I think if you've been comparing yourself to other people in your life, or comparing yourself to people on social media, or just in general feeling like for your age you're not where you want to be, or for your stage of life you're not where you want to be, you're letting that go. You're letting go of that idea of what you should be doing or what your life should look like, and instead liberating yourself and giving yourself the space and the freedom to love yourself, to make choices that are in alignment with what you want. And yeah, I feel like you're just feeling better about yourself than you have in such a long time. Let's actually get some more tarot cards for you, because I want to see, and this may go beyond the month of August, but I want to see how this personal transformation, because this feels like a total glow up of self. So let's see how this personal self transformation positively impacts your life. And so again, this may go beyond the month of August. I just want to see what benefit this adds to your life. We have, the Nine of Wands. I'm going to get 2 more cards. We have the Devil, and we have the Queen of Cups. Talk about, and bottom of the deck is the Lovers. Talk about unchaining yourself. Talk about freeing yourself. Talk about liberating yourself. If there are some maladaptive kind of coping skills, like, you know, when you're feeling down about yourself, you shop too much, or you indulge in certain unhealthy habits, like you know, sit there and you indulge in like really unhealthy foods, and then you feel bad about yourself, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Maybe you seek comfort in the people who make you feel lesser than. So maybe you reach out to a frenemy who you know is really just gonna put you down, or you reach out to an ex, or, you know, you try to get attention from like the wrong people to make yourself feel better, and then it just ends up backfiring. Those kind of like unhealthy coping skills. I'm just throwing out some examples. This could be so many different things, right? But those are ending. It's like I don't have to export my self-worth. Like, I don't have to seek external validation, whether it's in material things or other people. Now my self-worth is inherent, so I'm not chaining myself to these unhealthy habits anymore. With the Nine of Wands, it feels like this burden is being released from me. This weight is off of my shoulders. I'm feeling a lot more carefree in my life. And with Queen of Cups, like this feeling of having an open heart, this feeling of being ready for love, like real love. And I don't just mean like romantically, just being ready for loving, supportive connections, whether it's, you know, feeling that love with your work, or feeling that love in friendship, or feeling that love, yes, romantically or with family members. There's a sense of like your ability to love in a healthy way, your ability to receive love in a healthy way, that is being healed for you. And so, you know, if your romantic life has been a point of like contention, if your ability to have like stable, healthy relationships with other people, if you've been craving like soul family connections, that is what I'm seeing for you. So there's a real feeling here of like healing which makes sense, right? Like if you now feel like you deserve the best, if you now know your worth, if you're standing in your power, if you see your strengths now, if you see your beauty, because the Empress here with the Knight of Wands, I mean, this indicates like a physical glow up as well. This indicates like more body positivity, more confidence with your physical appearance, just even being more like willing to dress in the way that you want, you know, to express yourself creatively in that manner through your physical appearance, you know, not hiding your body in a way because you feel insecure about certain things, or, you know, even just dressing in like a muted palette because you don't want anyone to notice you kind of thing. Just feeling more expressive, you know, dressing in the way that you want to dress rather than the way you think you should because of some insecurity. Being more free, being more open, not hiding away. All of this is improving, again, like your ability to maintain connections, but also your ability to make connections. So getting out of your shell. And again, like being more open-hearted. And I think also being less guarded, because I feel like because your self-worth has improved, you're not so guarded because you know your worth. So you're less afraid of someone breaking your heart because you're not giving so much power to other people to validate you. So that's less of a concern. Okay? And again, like your bottom of the deck was the Lover. So yes, this could indicate a new romantic connection or a deepening of an existing one. And also with the Lovers, you know, always think of soul family. Especially too because I was drawn to the Sailor Moon deck for you, and this deck always makes me think of soul family and true friendship. Okay? And leaving behind, you know, this Three of Swords, this heartbreak, this feeling of not being good enough. I think that's been a prevailing sort of theme. You know, feeling like you're falling short, feeling like you're not good enough. And if this isn't resonating, you know, if you feel like you're a confident person and you're not faking it and, you know, you feel really good about yourself and this has never been an issue for you, I would definitely suggest choosing another group, okay? Or maybe this just isn't your reading and that's okay. Because, I mean, this is telling a very, like, clear picture here. You know, sometimes there's multiple narratives that I see in a general reading, but this is telling a very clear story. How are you showing up in your own life? Group 3 in the month of August. How are you showing up in your own life? We have She Who Knows, wisdom, clarity, resolution, knowing your worth, seeing yourself clearly for the first time. I think in a really long time. Yeah, She Who Guides, new path, guide, renewal. I think that other people are going to be really inspired. They're going to be really inspired by this glow up that you're having. And again, it's not just external, it's internal as well. And we have She Who Flies, dare, do, reach, setting yourself free. I mean, we've been talking about self-empowerment, self-liberation, unchaining yourself. Even your bottom of the deck, She Who is wild, untamed, wild, mysterious. Yeah, I mean, you're feeling more free. You're feeling more free. And I think other people are like, you know, kind of amazed that you're not showing up as like this shrinking violet. You're not hiding yourself away. You don't have all these walls up anymore. Other people notice that. I think even more than the external transformation. How are you going to feel in August? That feeling when you wake up from a nap, unsure what century it is. Yeah, like this awakening. Like you've been in hibernation. We did get the Hermit card, right? Like you've been in hibernation for so long. And now you are blooming. You're showing up in your own life. And again, a really liberated sort of way. And it can be a little bit disorienting, I think. It can make you feel almost like a little bit dizzy. But I think that you are in this space of like self-love, this space of self-acceptance. And I think you feel so good to finally be in that place. I saw one time, I think maybe it was on Pinterest or something, but I can't remember if it was like a poem or just like a little line, but it was saying something like, my body like breathed a sigh of relief and said like, thank you for being my friend. And I think I always resonated with that. And I could be like misquoting it because I don't even know how long ago it was that I saw that. But, you know, I've always felt personally this disconnect between my mind and my body. Like they've always been like these two separate things. And I'm kind of getting that vibe from you all, like this feeling of like coming home to yourself, feeling at home in your own body, feeling comfortable in your own skin, not seeing a separation anymore, finally embracing and accepting all aspects of yourself. And for some of you, it could be the flip side of that. So maybe for some of you, you know, it's not like a body issue. You feel fine with your physical body, but you get frustrated maybe that you're more shy than you would like, that you're not as confident as you would like, that you're not as outspoken, that maybe you people please too much, something like that, that causes you to be harsh with yourself, that causes you to feel this almost like you're dividing up yourself. This feeling of not being like a whole person because there are aspects of yourself that you are denying, that you are repressing, that you don't want to accept. And it's this feeling of like loving yourself and not wanting to change or harshly judge yourself anymore. Accepting yourself as a beautiful and whole and complete person. And again, that feeling of like coming home to yourself, feeling good in your own skin, or feeling good in your own mind, you know, if it's more of a mental issue. That feeling when you're waiting for a car and you know that it will never arrive. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I feel like for some of you, it's this freedom from this expectation of perfection. Like knowing that to have that as a goal, to have that as an ideal is something that will never come to pass, and freeing yourself from that, freeing yourself from this notion that if I just get to this point, then I'll be perfect, then I'll be happy, and knowing that that's not the case. Like for example, let's say you had it in your mind that you would feel happy and good about yourself if you just lost 20 pounds, and you have that in your mind, and just releasing yourself from that idea that happiness or self-love or self-worth is like this destination to reach. That if you just change this aspect of yourself, and I'm just using weight loss as like, you know, a generic example. This could be so many different things. Like I said, it could be a mental issue. You know, like, oh, if I could just be more extroverted and go to this party, then I would feel happy about myself. Or if I was just more open to love and I was in a relationship, then I would feel that sense of self-worth. And understanding that, you know, it's just not the case. And so not sort of, again, like outsourcing or seeking this external validation or trying to reach this point of destination or your concept of what perfect is, just releasing yourself from all of that and giving yourself the permission to wildly accept and love yourself and recognize your self-worth. Radical self-acceptance, that's the phrase. Nothing will come of this situation void of course, Moon. This to me is always the card of like whatever you've been agonizing over, whatever you've had so much anxiety over, it's all in your head. It's not coming to pass. It's all in your head. Conclusions are within reach, full moon and eclipse, and prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. And you know, Taurus, you know, that Venus energy, that beauty, I think is coming into your life for sure. And I think this conclusions are within reach, like you're about to have this epiphany moment. You're about to have this glow up of self, this self transformation, and it's going to reflect positively in your life. You know, Taurus energy is fixed earth. It's very grounded. So again, it's not just an internal positive, you know, transformation. It's going to be reflected in your external environment. Again, we may be talking about past August. It may be, you know, longer than a 30-day period, but it's coming up. You know, things are getting better, and it's starting within and then it's radiating outward. Especially with this Knight of Wands, like it's starting from within her heart and then it's radiating outward. So I love that for you, Group 3. All right, let's just get some final messages. We have Thinking Thork and we have Tidy Up Tilly. Yeah, cleaning up your mental space, cleaning up your mind, cleaning up your relationship with yourself is making your life 10 times better. It's starting within, and it's like a domino effect. It really is. And I think it's going to surprise you how much improving your self-confidence, improving your sense of self-worth is going to better your life. Truly. Group 3, this was your reading. I'm wishing you the very, very best. I hope you have the best August, and I will see you in my next one. Please take care.
We'll be right back.